You're listening to Arise, the podcast that teaches you how to live your life with purpose and confidence. I'm your host, Donna Cherie. Let's get into today's show. Arise. What's up, overcomers? Welcome back to another episode of Arise. I'm your host, Donna Cherie, and I'm so excited to be here today talking with you all. Today marks our 50th episode together. Whoop, whoop! And this brings me so much joy because I did not know how this podcasting journey was going to turn out, if I would try something else, if I would keep going, if I would stop or what have you. But I'm so glad and so happy that I am actually recording my 50th episode. And honestly, if you think about 50 episodes and listening to one just a week, that is just about 2 weeks away from a whole year's worth of content. So, wow, God is good, and I'm just so thankful and I'm so excited to be here with you all, as well as share some exciting news about what's happening, what's going on, what's coming up, and all those great things. So, I'm so overjoyed today to have come this far in my podcasting journey. Believe it or not, I started podcasting right after Thanksgiving of 2022. I had been wanting to start a podcast prior to that for about 2 years. And finally, I was like, okay, Lord, I'm just going to do it. Because originally, I thought I was going to have a podcast about prayer. I thought that was where I wanted to go with podcasting, just to talk all about prayer. But when I initially and officially launched, I realized that I wanted to inspire people and capture interviews with people who could cover a host of topics such as mental health and wellness, self-esteem and self-worth, faith, and stories of triumph. So when I launched, and as you've listened to past episodes, those were the topics that have been discussed. And also, as I kept podcasting and interviewing people, I realized that I was focusing on too many topics. So before, I would have topics about travel. There's a couple episodes on here about traveling. There's also one about motherhood. And it was really just too broad for me. So I wanted to niche down. And throughout this podcasting journey, I have done some refining and redesigning and rebranding and restructuring the show so that it truly caters to you all, or to truly cater to those who I desire to listen to the show, or who I believe could really benefit from this show. We've come a long way thus far. So, and I'm so happy to do it. So, virtual hug to all of you, group virtual hug to all of you out there who have been rocking with me this far, or even if you just started listening, hugs to you as well for tuning into the show. I feel like I'm really at a place now where I'm sure podcasting is what I want to do, and I know why I'm doing it. And just thinking about my long-term goals, I am finally at that place into where it's manageable. I think in one of my episodes, I mentioned about creating a system and using Notion to really just like organize my thoughts and have a layout of podcasting. And it has helped me tremendously in starting to help me really like just stay consistent and get ahead of my episodes and having an actual plan. And I am a planner at heart. I love to be organized. So it truly helps my brain to unload and keeps me on track for podcasting. And I'm so grateful for all those who have provided me with feedback. It just really warms my heart from people that I've connected with on social media or in person who tell me how much an episode has helped them or how they've been inspired, and just shared like the nuggets that they've received from the show and how they want to walk in their purpose. That truly is what the show is about, helping you gain the confidence and clarity to walk in your God given purpose. Because I know without a shadow of a doubt, I know this truly in the depths of my soul and in my heart that God has something for all of us to do for Him in this life. And it's time to pursue it. It's time to do what God has called us to do. I've met so many people over the years who have shared with me, like, Donna, I want to do something. I know that God has called me to do this, or God showed me in a dream that I'm supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. And it just saddens me that so many people haven't even taken just one step, have even attempted to do what God has shown them or revealed to them. And that truly breaks my heart. And so that is really the why this show exists, to be able to give people the confidence and clarity that they need, to give them that push and that to go and even at least try and do one thing, take one step of what you say God has spoken to you. One of the testimonials that I recently received from a listener about what she enjoys most on the show is that I talk about real life situations. And I'm glad she shared that because I am not a fluffy person. I like being real and personable with people. I come from the approach of keep it simple and practical. Like, give me some steps, not just ideas, make it plain to me. And in my mind, I think that's how some other people think. So I'm always about keeping it simple and keeping it practical. I think I've shared before that I have like a background in human services and behavior and social sciences. So there's always talks about theory and our theoretical approaches. And of course, that applies to lots of different settings. But for here, it really is about just keeping it simple and making it practical so that you can go and pursue that God given calling on your life. I hope this podcast is truly blessing your life and even your business. That's something that I also will be bringing to the table in future episodes about business because, of course, I own a business and I am finding more and more of as I am on this podcasting journey and pursuing and coaching individuals, that it's more so about business coaching and how that is aligned with individuals' purpose as well. So I'll be providing some information and tips about business as well, and how to have a life coaching business. If you desire to be a Christian life coach, if that's something you're looking into, stay tuned with this podcast because I want to help you get started with your Christian life coaching business. And if you desire to become a certified kingdom coach, I can certainly help you with that. So you might be thinking 50 episodes. Okay, Coach Donna, what's next? I'm glad that you asked. You might be thinking, what do I have planned for this podcast? So don't you worry about a thing. I got you. And as I just stated before, just some of the things that I'll be sharing in the future is about business. A few things coming in the future is I will be dropping so very, very, very soon is my Arise and Shine bi-weekly newsletter. Is coming in hot. It's a bi-weekly dose of inspiration and confidence tips for a purposeful life and thriving business. Each newsletter that you receive from me, it'll be with uplifting insights to refresh your spirit, actionable business tips to help you make boss moves, self-care advice to ensure you're recharging your soul and getting your rest, and exclusive content and resources only for our Arise fam. So those who tune into this podcast, you'll be receiving exclusive content and resources. I'm super excited about that. If you're already subscribed to my email list, great. You'll be receiving more information very soon. If you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to go to donnacherie.com and join the tribe. You don't want to miss this or not be on this exclusive email list. I'm also thrilled to announce that I will have a live Kingdom Coach certification class coming up starting on July 18th. I'm going to equip aspiring or kingdom coaches, entrepreneurs, and leaders on how to take your passion and skill set and turn it into a thriving coaching business. Yes, 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 yes. So be sure to check out the show notes. I'll have more information about that. So right now I have limited spots available and some of them have already been taken. If you're interested or know of someone who's been looking to become a certified kingdom coach, send them my way. You can go to consumecoaching.com/become a coach. The link will be also available in the show notes for you. Also, in the future, I'll be having some amazing guests on the show to talk about mindset. I realize that our mindsets are one or maybe even the biggest roadblocks, in my opinion, to preventing us from reaching our desired success, where we want to go in life, or keeping us from living out our God given dreams and visions that He's given us, is because we have these mindset roadblocks that we need to overcome, these mental strongholds that need to be dismantled for us to be able to move forward. And trust me, I know all about that because I have been there, and I really want to help you change your mindset so that you can move forward. And if you have any ideas on future episodes, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I do respond to serious inquiries. So holla at me. As I continue on this podcasting journey, I think some of the biggest takeaways that I, have come to realize while doing this is to not quit. So not quit, don't quit before you even start. That's one of the things that I have taken away from this, is don't quit before you start. And what I mean by that is, say for instance, God has given you this dream, this passion. He's been showing it to you for years, revealing it to you. He's been confirming it through people and through other experiences throughout your life, and it hypes you up, it gets you all excited, and then all of a sudden you're like, you just decide to quit in your mind because it might seem too big, or it might seem too difficult, or too many tasks to do. And so before you even get started, after you've had this revelation, or after you've had this vision, you decide to quit before you even get started. So how are you going to know if it worked? So don't quit before you get started. That's one of my takeaways for podcasting, because it has opened up so many doors for me. It has allowed me for me to meet so many incredible people and to build a community and to just see what God is doing and how He's moving through me. The other takeaway that I have received on this podcasting journey is, if God said it, then do it. As I mentioned at the start of the show, that I had been thinking about starting a podcast for nearly 2 years before I ever got started. And the Lord had reminded me, like, because I was like, God, what should I be doing in my business, or what should I be doing at this time in my life? And He reminded me, like, I told you to podcast, and you haven't even done the one thing yet. So how am I even asking for something else when I haven't even done the first thing that the Lord asked me to do? And then I got started, and I was so glad that I did get started. And as a result, like, some of the guests that I've had on the show, we've actually been able to build relationship with each other and connect with each other, collaborate with one another. And it has opened up another door for me to be able to do other things as well, that I'll also share on this podcast, and that you will see if you're following me on Instagram. But like, if God said it, then do it, because He's going to make a way for you, and He's going to bless it. He's going to bless it. And don't be so concerned with numbers. Don't be concerned with, who didn't show up, but just be grateful for who has shown up, and keep doing it, because God said it and He will bless it. And then the third takeaway that I want to share is that consistency plus effort equal results. And these are not my personal aha words. I was listening to somebody else who shared these words, but it is so true. Consistency plus efforts equal results. I and not only can I just apply this like to my business, to podcasting, but if I even apply this to my education, I have been wanting to get a degree for so long, and there were financial roadblocks in my way that came up. And so it took me over 10 years to get my bachelor's degree. But because I was consistent and I stayed the course and I eliminated debt, and I kept moving forward, and I just kept taking two classes at a time or three classes at a time. And as I was giving my effort, eventually I was able to get my degree. And once I got serious about it, I was able to complete it in a year and a half. Now, of course, it was because I had credits from another institution prior to that, but still, I was able to get my degree while I had a full time job, while I have a husband and a household, while I was volunteering, while I'm running a business, and going to school. And God graced me and gave me the capacity because I was consistent, plus my efforts in doing it. It gave me the results that I desired. Those will be my biggest takeaways that I have received from podcasting right now. It's don't quit before you even start. If God said it, then do it. Consistency plus efforts equal results. Thank you all so much for rocking with me on this podcasting journey. I'm so grateful for every listener, every person who has left me a review, who encourages and inspires me to keep going. All the collaborations, connections, and as I call it, God opportunities. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's such a privilege and it's such a joy to just be here, to be on the airways, and to be able to speak life into somebody else. And I don't take that lightly, but I'm so grateful to God for giving me this opportunity to do so. If you're listening for the first time to the show, be sure to subscribe to the show, leave a review, and share the podcast with someone you know, love, or could benefit from it. Check out those previous episodes so that you will be encouraged and be able to move one step forward toward the plans that God has for your life. And if there's one message I can leave with you all today, that is to give God your yes. Say yes to the Lord. Say yes. And by saying yes, do something. So not only say yes, but when you say yes, make a move and make a move toward what God is calling you to do. I pray that you will allow Him to guide you and that you will be obedient and consumed by His call. Cheers to 50 times 50 more episodes. Until next time, guys. Ciao. Hey, Overcomers. Thanks for tuning in. For more information, head on over to DonnaCherie.com. If you want to find me online, I'm at I am Donna Cherie on Instagram and Facebook. And of course, if you love the show, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.